Ist doch der Second Floor, oder? Ah ja, kann man also. Ups. Ich will aber eigentlich den zweiten Stock auch noch sehen. Wartet mal ganz kurz. So, jetzt gucken wir uns das auch mal an. Ja, aber wir sind ja auch weird. So, what's going on? Looks like someone left something open on this one. It's a resume. Hope Tark. Born 1967. 50 years old, let's see. Experience mining, construction, well drilling. I never think about getting a job when I'm old. 50 is not really old. I mean... Ja, wir kommen dort alle hin, Leute. You should have money then, right? Ideally. It should be like guaranteed. Should be guaranteed in general. You gonna join my young socialist chatterbox group? Dieses Interesse. Ich glaube nicht. Gut. Holy crap. What? It's Charity Barity. What's Charity Barity? How do you not know Charity Barity? I assume this is something from school. The school of being 5 freaking years old. Alright. So this was a thing you liked as a kid? No, I hated Charity Barity. It does look really hateable. It was like you were kidnapped by a cult. You were under some curse. Kidnapped by a cult. And when they were like brainwashing you instead of some cult guy with a wavy dagger and a magic mask. That's not... Okay, yeah, go on. Instead of that, it was this effing pink nightmare. You were scared of it? No. I was bored to death. It was talking forever about like being kind to others. And like, I don't know, helping an old neighbor to engine repair, hoppala. That sounds nice. Charity Barity helps old Mr. Plonko fix his hovercraft. Ah no, that's the worst part, it always rhymed. Charity Barity, pink nightmarity. Charity Barity, I just don't carity. Mensch. So, Regenbogenpupse, ich wünsche euch auch noch einen wonderful Stream und so. Danke, Luzi. Und Sid auch gleich. Bis später, Leute. Viel Spaß noch. Danke euch auch noch viel Spaß bei was auch immer ihr jetzt vorhabt. Bis hoffentlich bald mal wieder. Sind wir jetzt hier durch? Ja, ne? Ja, wir sind hier durch. Dann gehen wir mal. So, jetzt gehen wir rauf. Oh wow, it's dusty up here. It's old up here. Sure is. Maybe your ghost is up here? Yep, ghost. Or something. Whatever he was, he walked through a chain-like fence. Or flew over it, or something. While carrying something. Alright, well, that's even more impressive. So we're gonna go find this guy, because he took someone. And he's like, somehow connected to this thing I've been going through. And that's not good. That all sounded a lot more badass in my head. It's okay, it was fine. Sie ist eine gute Freundin. So, un momento. Ups. Aber jetzt. Alright, there she is. Cool. So, I had no idea how to use it. Really? I can't know how to do everything. I'm sorry, but what expertise have you brought to this thus far? This whole thing was my idea. No, your idea was ghost hunting. My idea is to do at least a tiny bit of research on it. If you think it's so stupid, why are you here? Because you're my friend, you asshole. Argument. Aww. Oh, we friends, Beatrice? Here, let me get this set up. will be here all night if you dumbass is in charge. Seid nicht böse, ich verabschiede mich für heute. Habt noch einen schönen Abend, eine gute Nacht und morgen einen schönen Wochenteiler. Nee, wir sind dir nicht böse, natürlich nicht. Ich wünsche dir auch noch einen schönen Abend. Danke fürs Vorbeischauen und ja, dir auch einen schönen Wochenteiler. Mach's gut, gute Nacht. Tschö, Dungeon. So, easy. Achtung, Flachwitz, Psychologe. Warum sind Sie hier, Patient? Weil ich seit 2 Wochen keine Freunde mehr habe, Psychologe. Was ist denn passiert? Patient kennt sich Mario Kart. Ja, ist so eine Sache. Alright, so what are we looking for? I want to steer. No. Move, I'm steering. Ow. Jeez, Mae. I'm sorry. Okay. How do we do this? Step 1, look at the screen. Step 2, move around and look at stuff. Step 3, find ghost. Sure. Tragedy at Stafford Mine. An explosion occurred at 6:20 a.m. at the Stafford Mine. All work has ceased while men attempt to rescue any survivors. So far, 3 men have been pulled out alive, along with 20 dead. The explosion occurred 10 miles deep in the mine, and only one group of men were able to escape before the elevator's ropes snapped, and the next group of men plummeted to their death. So far, hopes of finding more survivors is slow. The main path to the tunnel caved in due to the explosion, and supervisors are still attempting to piece together exactly where everyone was during the accident. Ich weiß nicht, in welcher Reihenfolge wir das am besten abgehen. Okay, ja gut. Possum Massacre. Severe violence broke out at Stafford Mine strike today. The bosses arrived to attempt to renew talks and were taunted by some of children present. Rocks were thrown at the National Guard and strike breakers opened fire on the crowd. After a few minutes, the smoke cleared and a gory scene revealed. 9 miners are dead with a dozen more injured. A young brother and sister were also shot dead as they were delivering a package of food to their father and uncle who was on strike below when the shooting broke out. The photograph of the 2 children aged 7 and 9 who were shot in cold blood has circulated far outside of our little country. The heinous act led to personal visit from the governor to strike site to meet with strikers. Independent inspectors were also brought in and talks finally began 45 days since the start of the strike. The bosses have agreed to comply to the current safety standards and to honor the demands of the miners. Dann gehen wir nach oben. New old store in town center. The old Pickaxe Harbor store is set to have its grand opening this Saturday. We received a sneak peek of the store yesterday and our town will benefit greatly from this new addition. Roy Borge is bringing 25 years of building experience into his new venture and has stocked the shelf with all the nuts, bolts and nails you would need for any project, plus the latest in tools. Stop by to see the latest trends in everything from handsaws to hammers. Best of luck to Mr. Birch. Flachpunkt 2.0. Liegt der Camper im Gras, macht das Rasenmähen Spaß. Naja, ich weiß ja nicht. Bin mir da nicht so sicher. Warte mal kurz, ich trinke mal einen Schluck. Ja, wieder Strike. A strike at Stafford Mine has been called. The idea first arose after the memorial for the 1888 explosion victims. Miners gathered in the home of Arthur Borowski to continue the memorial to their friends. They also began recounting all of the promises the bosses had on this past year, including basic safety measures to avoid another explosion. A group of 20 miners entered the mines to begin the strike, and 30 more joined them before morning. All work has been stopped at the mine, and the miners are now striking in 8-hour shifts. Their wives and children have begun to bring food and water for the men. The bosses have stated that the mines are safer than they were a year ago, and that there is no need to act in this manner. Oh! Aha! Local ghost Little Joe at it again. As the school children are quick to inform you, Possum Springs has at least one resident who won't show up on any census survey. Little Joe purportedly The Ghost of Joe Shade, a miner who died in mysterious circumstances some decades ago, is a favorite spook story of the whimsical and weird members of our community. His most recent activities seem to involve getting up out of his coffin in the old section of Possum Springs Cemetery and strolling around, unnerving visitors to the largest graveyard in Deep Hollow County. His grave has become a destination for unruly and often destructive local youths, and as such, Possum Springs City Council is considering erecting an iron gate to protect historical tombstones that fill the small hollow where Joe Shade lies buried. Police have also stepped up patrols in the area, so be warned, thrill seekers. You may not see a ghost, but you may see fine for trespassing. Meine Freunde, das sind mega viele Artikel, das hört irgendwie nicht auf. Guckt mal, da oben waren wir auch noch nicht. Alles Renner. The Stanley T. Possum Station, known by the residents as Posse, is finally slated for demolition. Posse closed in 1969, but Richard Carlson, son of Samuel, had hopes of refurbishing the station for new generations. Posse stood silent for close to 60 years, witnessing the beginnings of the demise of the railroad, the mines and the coke works that ushered in his existence. Teens and other vandals broke into Posse over the years, and climbing up through Posse became a rite of passage for many young people in the area. Residents have been torn over what to do with the beloved but derelict structure over the years, but 3 years ago pressure began mounting to have it torn down. A storm knocked off Posse's ear, and the next year off, Jenkins fell from the staircase and broke both legs. Samantha Colston Glick, daughter of Richard, finally agreed that it was time for Posse to go. The demolition will begin at 12 p.m. on Saturday, and viewing areas will be set up at safe distance. Es sind extrem viele. Ja, sind sie wirklich. Also wir haben jetzt zumindest schon einmal was gefunden, das mit Joe, und dann müssen wir weiter schauen, ob wir vielleicht noch was finden, weil im Endeffekt, ich weiß nicht... Ah, nee, wir müssen wohl bestätigen. Okay, Moment. Ich dachte nämlich, dass da kommt irgendwie von alleine was, ne? Yeah, not exactly about a ghost. Ja gut, dann müssen wir hier hin, dann sparen wir uns mal die anderen alle. Ich glaube nicht, dass es so viel spannender wird. Oh, look! Scooch, so I can see. Graveyard. That's the gimme. I mean, if you're looking for ghost stuff, that's where they make a lot of them. Looks like they saw him in the old section. Oh cool, that's where his grave is. I'm actually interested in that. How could you not be interested? This is like actual dangerous ghost stuff. I like history. Ghosts are history. History that won't stay history. That's actually pretty good. Okay, das war's offensichtlich doch noch nicht. Ich weiß nicht mehr, wo wir waren. Waren wir hier schon? Nee, ich glaube, das haben wir noch nicht jetzt. Nee, wir waren... Waren wir hier schon? Nee. Progress Springs in Possum Springs. Randolph Stafford, owner of the Bell's Hole Mine Workers, has partnered with Samuel Carlson, owner of the Carlson Coke Works, Daniel Glick, railroad magnate, and prominent business owner Harrison Schreigeist to make some stunning improvements throughout the town. The four men desire to build a model of progressive living right here in Possum Springs. The old miners' double houses on Elm Street will be torn down and replaced with spacious single homes. A new elementary school will be opened nearby, along with a new state-of-the-art recreation center courtesy of Arnold Applebaum. This is in addition to the improvements Randall Stafford promised to the previously striking miners. Fallt euch was auf, da sind super viele deutsche Namen irgendwie dabei. Schreigeist und Apfelbaum, ne? There has been another sighting of the albino groundhog from a very reliable source this time. Edgar Stutter reports that he saw the pure white beast digging near Shade Gap. Mr. Stutter has declined to give any more of an exact location and implores his fellow hunters to admire this anomaly from afar and leave him to his business. We couldn't agree more with this upstanding citizen and remind townfolks that if you are interested in seeing an albino creature, to stop by Sudie's barbershop for a peek at an albino raccoon. We're certain this will assist your mind in completing the search for the groundhog. Geht's noch weiter, Nina? Underground gases afflict many. The houses on Large Street have been evacuated after the discovery of a gas buildup in the basements was found to have led to hallucinations in scattered members of the households. For the past several weeks, residents have been complaining of family members who began hearing voices or seeing things that were not there. One older woman was found having an animated discussion with an empty chair. When pressed, she calmly explained that she was talking to a sister who had passed away some 50 years ago. 2 nights ago, the son of Carson Zimmer ran out of the house and leapt into Cooper's Pond, 1 mile up the road. Moments before this, the child had been readying for bed and, according to another sibling, became increasingly agitated. The last words he uttered were about some sort of song before he dashed out of the house and into the night where his watery grave awaited him. This last event persuaded residents to request help from officials to see if this is related to St. Leuven's lantern, a phenomenon where exposure to specific underground gases leads certain victims to experience waking dreams, auditory hallucinations, and the sense of unseen presences. Preliminary tests indicate that gas is present in the homes, and mining officials are moving the residents until more tests can be completed. No ghosts to be found here. The way you say ghost, it sounds like you don't believe me. So. Strike lumbers on. The strike is now in its 30th day with no end in sight. The bosses have refused to meet with the miners, saying their demands are too fantastical. The miners claim they are only asking the bosses to adhere to safety standards that are already the law. The National Guard was called in after last week's scuffle in the Cast and Coke Works Union has joined the Cast and Coke Works Union has joined the cause, which has caused an uptick in national press arriving at the site. The women's camp has expanded its services from serving meals to beating any non-union miner from entering the mines. So far, they have been successful in both ventures. Ich wollte mich noch für die Among Us-Runden bedanken, weil es war extrem lustig und auch interessant, die Stimmen der anderen mal zu hören. Ja, danke dir, dass du mitgemacht hast, und es wird sich sicher wieder die Möglichkeit ergeben, dass wir gemeinsam amongen. Also stay tuned. Ich würde mir gar nicht die Mühe machen, so viel zu lesen. Ja, ich weiß nicht. Ich bin halt irgendwie, ich möchte schon wissen, aber es hört ja auch nicht auf. Den nehmen wir noch, weil da steht Ghostly Rumors. The Possum Springs Historical Society's conversion of the Schreigeist House into this new headquarters and education center has hit a snag. Custodial head Jed Nasomi has resigned, citing strange occurrences in the old manor. I'd be there after hours doing my work, and I'd hear someone walking around trying doorknobs. I came out to see who was fooling, but there was nobody there, said Nasom, trying to get this map room optional for the children. All the while I'm looking over my shoulder expecting to see God knows what. Mr. Nasom had previously requested to work only daylight hours when other staff were present in the building, but even that proved to be too terrifying. I don't go to the off-limits area anymore. I don't go up past the 2nd floor and then only go to the office. I know the others laugh, say I'm seeing Little Joe or something, but they can all go spit. Little Joe, for the uninitiated, was a local ghost story popular some years ago. The Possum Springs Historical Society has refused to comment on Mr. Nassom's claims at this time. So. Hey. Ghost spotted. Historical Society? History that won't stay history. In a history place. History place? Yeah, I've never been. You didn't go back in school? I think this was when I wasn't in school. Oh, after the softball incident. Yeah, I mostly just watched TV and did therapy. Well, it's actually a pretty cool old house. It used to be owned by one of the mine owners or something. Railroad, mine, steel mill, something like that. An actual haunted house. Es gibt neue Belohnungen für Glitzershops. So sieht's aus. Ich habe mir ein bisschen was noch überlegt. Ich mir dachte, damit ihr auch was ein bisschen zum Ausgeben habt, die Preise noch mal ein bisschen angepasst. Oh no. Elementary school. Kids are there all the time. They have like summer arts and craft programs. Oh well, still worth checking out. Das war's. Können wir nicht raus? Müssen wir noch eine Ghost Story finden? Deep Hollow County Mons. Aber es ist halt schon auch interessant, was da alles so passiert ist. Also ja doch, ich lese es halt schon. So, haben wir hier noch Weird and Forgotten Aspects, Deep Hollow County Story. Oh wow, this is gnarly and awesome. Hahaha, oh my god. Okay, nein, das ist... Ich verstehe es nicht ganz, ehrlich gesagt. Wir haben eigentlich jetzt alles durch. Theoretisch müssten wir alles durch haben. Strike Lamp was on. Den haben wir auch schon in Local Ghost. Kann ich da raus? Aha, nein, okay. Irgendwas müssen wir da dann scheinbar noch machen. Ganz verstehen durchs nicht. Müssen wir alle durch einmal anklicken? This one? No Ghost. Ich klicke mal alle an. Keine Ahnung, ich weiß ehrlich gesagt nicht. Da waren wir schon. No Ghost here. No Ghost here. Ja gut. No Ghost here. Ja, wissen wir eigentlich, aber irgendwie... Irgendwie dürfen wir ja nicht gehen. Oh, doch! Spectral happenings at Possum Jump. Two local sweethearts were startled this past Sunday night as they hiked along the wooded overlook known as Possum Jump. According to the lovebirds, at approximately 11:45 p.m., a figure appeared to walk from the edge of the cliff out in into the open air and then disappeared. Forestry workers the next morning were unable to locate any evidence of anyone having leapt from the great height, leaving the exact nature of what the two saw a mystery. A decent hike up into the state forest hills, Possum Jump is famous for its beautiful view on the Echo Reservoir. It also holds historical importance as it hosts the lonely graves of several persons involved in a possum massacre. Hey, look at this. Yeah, looks like Possum Jump. Let me read it. It's Possum Jump. Okay, yeah, that's back up in the state park, right? Yeah. Ever been up there? Nope. Gonna check it out though. Go nuts. That's actually probably only a mile or so from Miss Miranda's house. Back up in the hills. All kinds of stuff up there. Well, I try to avoid any basements or corpse husbands. Cosigned. Okay, well, that's like 3 leads. Let's boogie. Let's boogie. Also, is that it? Yeah. 3 clues, we got 3 leads. You're a regular detective. Mae Borowski, a detective of ghosts. Alright, let's go.